host would like to welcome David Seal to our couch today. He's coming to talk to us about something very important that's coming up in Jefferson County that is a highly anticipated event, which is the Night of the Patriots 2015. By way of introduction, some of you may have seen him as he's commissioner of the 9th District and a teacher at Jefferson County High School and the program director for Night of the Patriots. And have you been with the program director since the inception of the Night of the Patriots?
No, actually, I started in 1992 when the program first came to be. I did some of the technical work for the program, some of the backdrops, sets, electrical, that sort of thing, and just kind of involved into the role of program director. And for that, it started in 2004.
Now, this is a long-running show at Jefferson County High School. For those who don't know, this is your 23rd year.
That's right.
That's correct.
23 years. The program was initially started by Louis Vesser, then assistant principal at the high school, and he was looking for a way basically to get people in the door, see the high school, see what programs we offered, and also to showcase student talent. And eventually by 93 or 94, we turned this program basically into a patriotic program for the veterans.
And this year the program is going to be held on November the 5th. Now, sometimes you have it actually on Veterans Day.
Occasionally, but we always have it Thursday of Veterans Week is what we call it.
Right. And for those who don't know also, this is a big production. We're not talking about a small show here. You have over 300 students, is that correct, from Jefferson County High School that participate?
302 students at present count, and this program is planned and spoken about and dealt with basically on a year-round basis. And in addition to those 302 students this year, there's 35 staff members that work with the program too, and most of those people work at my direction. Now,
this is the first year. Besides the fact that this is you got a couple of brand new things going on this year. This is the first year that Billy Yardley has not been a part of this program. Is that correct?
That is correct. She was replaced by Mr. Brian McCampbell in the drama program.
And obviously you have a lot of different groups of students. Talk a little bit about the general areas that participate.
Be glad to. I'll have to refer to my notes because there's so many. A few years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, my daughter was at the high school and I wanted to do a dramatic reading. And at that time we added what was called a dramatic reading for our Voice of Democracy contest. We always have the band do the national anthem to start the show. It's always a highlight of the show, a big point in the show. We have a special student to come out and do the Pledge of Allegiance. We always appoint someone for that. And then we do a service salute for all the service members in the community. Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Navy. We do a salute to all those people. The chorus is a participant, probably the largest one. There's probably 50 or 60 students in the chorus program that participate. ROTC is another one. ROTC does an honor guard that represents the POWMIA commemoration.
Right, that's a very emotional part of the program. I know I've seen that before.
With this particular program, it's going to be emotional, but every time you think you've seen something that's heart-driven or emotional, we're going to throw something else at you. It's going to be intense through the whole program. I'm referring to my notes here, hope you don't mind.
No, that's fine.
The Flag Corps, up until 2 years ago, was just a group that performed with the marching band. And some of the students that were in the Flag Corps came to me, wanted to do their own segment in the show, so now they have a permanent segment in the show.
Right.
We have a rifle demonstration. ROTC students are going to do that. Then of course, when we get about halfway through the program, I'll do a veterans recognition. We have some veterans we're going to recognize in the community. And of course, we've already mentioned the drama program.
Right.
And I won't give it away, but they're going to do a very in-depth story. They're going to do a storyline, and
great.
I think everybody will respond well to that. We have 2 independent music numbers from last year. Haley Taylor and Josh Hunt are returning to do a number they've written themselves. They've written it or arranged it themselves. And then we have a solo. I won't ruin that for you. It's going to be great. Patriot dance team and cheerleaders are also involved. They have independent segments. The one that the dance team is doing is called Where the Fallen Lie, and it was a segment written by Major Jacob Thornburg, United States Army.
Okay. I know that with more than 300 students, it is still amazing the talent that's at Jefferson County High School. We see the senior play, we see this performance. Of course, this gives an opportunity for underclassmen to participate as well. It's not just seniors,
That's right.
where the senior play is simply the senior class.
Right.
But there is an amazing level of talent. But there's also a lot of behind-the-scenes work that goes into this. And that is one of the things that I think is so nice about this particular program, is that it gives a lot of different kids the ability to showcase their talents. Maybe they're not on stage showcasing them, maybe they're behind the scenes showcasing them.
Right. We have students that serve, just to give you an example, we have students that serve as a stage crew. We have a teacher at the high school that's very involved in veterans activities. Her name is Misty Gray. Her students are always writing essays, always doing flag etiquette, always doing those things to bring out the patriotic aspect of high school attendance. And we try to include that in the show. In fact, Misty's one of the people that help backstage. And we have another staff member, Keisha House, who is going to work backstage with us, trying to make sure all the props are in place and all the students are queued up. And she herself is an Air Force veteran, so we've got quite a bit going on with behind the scenes stuff.
Now, this is the first year, and I have to say this for disclosure, this is my father I'm talking about here for a second. The Performing Arts Center was named by the school board the James D. Swann Performing Arts Center.
Right.
This is your first year there.
Right.
I'm real proud of it, and I know you are too. You've lobbied really hard for this.
That's right.
And this is your first trying it out in a major way. How is that going?
I was thinking about it on the way over here. In fact, I was thinking about your dad at the time. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. We had a graduation one year, and it was the last year, I believe, that we had it in the stadium. And there was a thunderstorm approaching. And just as he announced the beginning of graduation, the storm hit and just saturated everybody. And he said, I told y'all, if I ever got you in the rain one time in a storm, I'd get an auditorium out of it. So he fought for that auditorium for a long time. He
was very interested in showcasing the talents of the students. He recognized the talents of the students at Jefferson County High School. And it is a very talented school. And there's even students who don't participate in this that maybe participate in other things.
Right.
But this is one good venue for these students. And it's also a nice community event, because anything that we can do to put the spotlight on our veterans is a nice day in Jefferson County.
Well, it's also a spotlight on the students too. I was thinking as I was eating lunch today, getting ready for this interview, when you watch a show like The Voice or something like that, and you see that wonderful talent, I would put the Jefferson County High School students up against anybody that I've seen on that show. And we're not even going to scratch the surface with Night of the Patriots. There's students in the school over there that are talented that don't even make it to the show, probably because I don't even know about them. But we try to include every student we possibly can in the program. I
know that my son, when he was at Jefferson County High School several years ago, was a participant in this show. And the students really enjoy this. There's a lot of camaraderie involved in this. A lot of students interact with each other that maybe don't interact with each other on a daily basis.
Right.
So you're building a lot of bridges with this show as well.
That's right. I have a lot of career technical students involved with it. We of course have the performing arts students involved with it. The ROTC students are involved with it, and they all come together and they all do a great job. And no matter how bad it looks when we start the practice, it's just a different world when we get to the performance. The students know what it means to the audience, and they know what it means to the community. It's just remarkable how good it looks once they get on set.
So let's talk about practice. How long have you all been practicing for this show?
Good question. I made a comment last year. I said, you all are seeing the result of something that came together yesterday at 8 a.m. for the first time. And that happens every year, actually. We have programs that participate that practice individual bits and pieces of the program, but it only comes together Wednesday at 8 o'clock, the day before the show.
Wow, that's right down to the wire, isn't it?
Right down to the wire.
I guess you sweat a lot right before the show, huh?
I lose a lot of sleep over it. You know, starting about a month out, I start losing sleep over it because I'll think of details in the middle of the night, and I'll have to get up and write them down or make a note to call someone. There's just hundreds of details in the show.
I would think that this is a passion for every staff member that's involved in it. You know, the students, it is a showcase and highlights their talents. But for staff members, this is a lot of extra work, a lot of time put in. So it has to be a passion for you all.
Right. I counted the number of staff members at 35. We add a few every year. And it is basically a year-round process that we go through, whether we're discussing it or purchasing costumes or deciding on content, and it all comes together usually the day before the public sees it.
That's great. I guess we need to talk a little bit about logistics here, because you do have this great new Performing Arts Center. Things are going to be a little different this year, though.
Very much different. The auditorium, Performing Arts Center, seats 637 people. And as a result of that, we're going to have 3 shows. And the first show is going to be for the parents. We're going to try to get as many parents as we can out Thursday morning at 8:45 for that show. And we understand that all parents can't come to that. Some of them have work schedules, that sort of thing. They can't attend the AM show, but we have that show for them if they can. The night show, Thursday at 7 p.m. November 5th, is going to be what we call the Veterans Show. We're going to give seating priority to the veterans at that performance. They'll be admitted from, say, 5 o'clock when the Veterans Chili Supper starts up until 6:45. They'll have seating preference until that hour. At 6:45, we'll open it up for the remaining seats to be filled. And we expect all the seats to be filled in the auditorium Performing Arts Center.
Right.
If there's overflow, we have a projection screen in the gym. Anyone who comes out to see the show and they're not able to get a seat in the actual Performing Arts Center, it's a giant screen with sound that's going to be fed directly into the gym live for those individuals. And then Friday, we're showing the performance to the Freshman Academy. They're going to be bussed up and they'll be able to see the performance at 2 o'clock on Friday.
Right. So to accommodate the seating, which, like you said, it's 637, which is, it's a blessing and a gift to have it. We'd love to have 1,200 seats, but we have 637.
Right.
So we got to deal with what we have.
That's right.
The veteran show will still be, for the actual veterans, will still be that evening show.
That's right.
Okay. And is there something prior to that? I think you said chili supper, right?
Right. Every year we have a chili supper for the veterans, and that chili supper is sponsored by different businesses in the county.
Right.
And they donate money and food and time, and it's free of charge to the veterans. They just come in with their family, they eat some chili before the show, and then try to find a seat after they have their dinner.
That's great. So some veterans, of course, you have all ages
Right.
that come. Parking for this performance. Is there any particular thing that people need to know regarding the parking?
Excellent question. If you came last year, it was a parking disaster. We
Right.
had construction going on, that sort of thing. The main parking lot is free and open, and let me qualify this statement by saying there's 2 different parking situations. If you're a parent or you're a relative of a student and you come to the Thursday morning show, most of the parking will be filled by students and faculty at that time, so we're going to park everyone that we can near the practice field, in the construction parking, basically back near the football field house where we can park most of those people. There will be a few places left up front, but most of them will be in the back. As far as the night show is concerned, the parking lot will be empty basically of student traffic and teacher traffic, and it'll be open to the public. So if you're needing assistance getting out of your vehicle or that sort of thing, you just park in front of the school where you can see. A good way to find that is the flagpole in the front. And we'll have criminal justice students that are manning the parking lots to help people get in, and that's from our criminal justice program that we have in Pod 5. Jim Potts is the teacher, and he basically trains students on how to deal with getting people in and out of the parking lot and how to do traffic control and crowd control and that sort of thing. So there will be assistance to get you in the building. Once you're inside, ROTC will be in charge of ushering people to their seats or to the chili section.
I know that in the very front of the building now, I've noticed that there's a circular
Correct.
part, and that is lined with handicap parking.
Right.
But there's probably not more than about, 8 spaces there
Right.
or something like that. So I guess if there's not a space for handicap parking, you could drop off there.
Yes.
And that's close enough to the building that there's easy access
That's correct.
to the auditorium.
Right.
I know that might be an issue for some of the veterans.
And just so you'll know, if you're not able to park in the front or drop off and you have to park, say, 30 or 40 feet away, we will have assistance for you.
Oh, that's great. That's terrific. So don't let that be a deterrent for coming out. Everyone should be able to get easily in and be able to be accommodated.
Right.
So let's reiterate what we have going here. So we have Thursday morning.
Right.
We have parents.
That's the parent show, and of course, if you're a relative of a student who's in the program, you're welcome to attend. We're not going to have someone at the door, checking to make sure it's a parent, but we wanted to designate that show just for the parents so we would be able to accommodate them.
Right, and then if you're a veteran, you need to plan on that Thursday night because that's going to be your time, and I assume that the recognition part will be that Thursday night show. That won't happen on Thursday morning.
That's correct. We will not repeat that. We didn't want to drag the veterans out, for a second trip. Everything veteran related is in the Thursday night show as usual.
And then the freshmen, of course, get to see it then Friday morning.
Right.
Well, David Sill, thank you very much for coming out to talk to us. And I know you want to issue an invitation to your veterans. So
Absolutely. I do want to invite everyone to come out and see the program. I planned all along to give seating priority to the veterans so they can get their seat up until 6:45. They'll have preference. Our ushers are instructed to do that and help with that. And I also want to thank the Jefferson County Post too. I really appreciate your brand of journalism, and I really appreciate the coverage you've given our students at the high school in the past.
well, thank you very much. We appreciate the effort that you put in, both for this program and on the commission. Both are big volunteer jobs and take a lot of time. But we look forward to seeing this. Of course, the Jefferson County Post will be there covering it, but it's a great community event. And if you are a veteran, and even if you aren't a veteran, it's really something to see. It's a really good show. So I hope that everybody will come out and make this first foray into this Performing Arts Center a success, and we can all show how proud we are to have something nice and new in Jefferson County.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you from the Jefferson County Post. We hope to see everybody there.